Minecraft Edasu lost in the Nether, a dangerous journey. I found myself lost, not in the overworld with its familiar green fields and blocky trees, but in the fiery, soul-crushing depths of the Nether. Every direction I turned was a sea of crimson netherrack, punctuated by the eerie glow of lava falls and the distant, mournful cries of ghasts. The air was thick with ash and the smell of sulfur, a constant reminder of the danger that lurked around every corner. My inventory was perilously low. A handful of cooked pork chops, a half-broken iron sword, and a flickering torch were all that stood between me and oblivion. The portal, my only way back to the sun-drenched plains I called home, was gone. A stray gassed fireball had seen to that, shattering the obsidian frame and extinguishing its purple, shimmering heart. I was trapped, a lone pixelated figure in a world designed to break me. My first thought was survival. I needed obsidian to rebuild the portal, and that meant finding a source of lava and water. But there's no water in the Nether. Panic began to set in, a cold dread that was far more chilling than the Nether's oppressive heat. I remembered tales from old-timers, whispers of bartering with piglins for obsidian. It was a long shot, but it was my only shot. That meant I needed gold. I started to dig, my pickaxe striking the soft netherrack with a rhythmic thud. The work was grueling, and every shadow seemed to hold a new threat. A skittering sound from a nearby tunnel would send my heart racing, my hand immediately gripping the hilt of my sword. I had to be constantly vigilant, constantly moving. Standing still in the Nether is a death sentence. After what felt like an eternity of carving through the crimson rock, I struck gold. Not the bright, shiny ore of the overworld, but nether gold embedded in the very fabric of this hostile dimension. Each nugget I chipped away felt like a small victory, a tiny beacon of hope in the suffocating darkness. I gathered what I could, my pockets heavy with the precious metal. Now came the hard part. Finding the piglins. I followed the eerie glow of a crimson forest, its strange, alien flora a stark contrast to the barren wastes. I could hear their grunts and snorts long before I saw them, a bustling bastion teeming with the gold-obsessed brutes. Taking a deep breath, I approached, holding a gold ingot out as a peace offering. Their beady eyes fixated on the shimmering metal, their suspicion slowly replaced by a greedy curiosity. The bartering was a tense affair. I tossed ingot after ingot onto the ground, and in return, they threw a random assortment of items at my feet: gravel, soul sand, and finally, after what felt like an age, a single block of crying obsidian. My heart sank. This wasn't what I needed. But then, another piglin, seemingly the leader of this small tribe, tossed a full stack of pure, black obsidian my way. I couldn't believe my luck. I had what I needed. Wasting no time, I backed away slowly, never turning my back on the piglins, and sprinted back the way I came. I found a relatively flat clearing, away from the immediate dangers of the bastion, and began to construct the frame. Each block I placed was a prayer, a testament to my will to survive. I carefully arranged the 14 blocks, forming the familiar rectangular gateway. With the frame complete, all I needed was a spark. My flint and steel had been lost in the ghast attack. Desperation clawed at me again. I looked around, my eyes scanning the fiery landscape for a solution. And then I saw it. A towering ghast drifted lazily in the distance, its ghostly white form a stark contrast against the red sky. I had an idea, a risky, almost insane idea. I built a protective wall of netherrack around my portal frame, leaving a small opening. Then, I waited. I provoked the ghast, dodging its fiery projectiles until it was in the perfect position. It let out a piercing shriek and launched another fireball. I ducked behind my wall at the last second. The explosion rocked the ground, but when the smoke cleared, I saw it. The purple, swirling vortex of the nether portal had come to life. A laugh of pure, unadulterated relief escaped my lips. I didn't hesitate. I jumped through the portal, the familiar dizzying sensation washing over me. The world materialized around me, and I was greeted by the gentle light of the moon and the soft green of the grass beneath my feet. I was home. The air was cool and clean, and the only sounds were the chirping of crickets and the gentle rustling of leaves. I looked back at the portal, its purple light, a silent testament to the harrowing journey I had just endured. I had been lost, trapped in a dimension of fire and despair, but I had survived. I had faced the horrors of the Nether and emerged, not unscathed, but stronger. As I walked towards the familiar silhouette of my wooden house on the horizon, I knew this was an adventure I would never forget. I had been just another collection of pixels in a dangerous world, but for a moment, I had been a hero.